one person was killed and 10 others were injured after a violent and chaotic collision between a ferry and a recreational boat Sunday evening off the coast of Clearwater, Florida. The ferry, which had been ushering families to and from the popular Sugar Sand Festival, was carrying about 45 passengers when disaster struck around 8:40 p.m. near the Clearwater Memorial Causeway Bridge. According to Clearwater Police and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC, a 37-foot recreational boat carrying roughly 6 people collided with the 40-foot ferry in what authorities described as an extraordinarily forceful impact. Clearwater Police Chief Eric Gandy revealed during a news conference on Monday that the recreational boat overrode nearly 3/4 of the ferry, causing extensive and devastating damage to the vessel. The collision triggered an immediate and massive emergency response. 10 people on board were injured, with 6 categorized as trauma alerts and urgently transported to local hospitals. Given the scale of injuries and the number of affected individuals, the fire department swiftly declared the incident a mass casualty event. Tragically, one of the ferry passengers, identified as 41-year-old Jose Castro from Palm Harbor, a town just north of Clearwater, succumbed to his injuries. Authorities have yet to publicly release the names of the others who were injured. Eyewitness accounts painted a harrowing picture of the moments leading up to and following the crash. Brenda Alvarez, who is 8 months pregnant, was traveling on the ferry with her husband and their 2 young children. She recounted to CNN affiliate WFTS how a crew member suddenly began shouting, "Hey, hey, hey!" moments before the large recreational boat came barreling into the ferry. Her husband turned just in time to see the massive vessel crash through the back of the ferry, shattering it and leaving a gaping dent. "We can't understand how fast they were going," Alvarez said, emphasizing the sheer force and unexpectedness of the collision. The aftermath was described as chaotic by Rob Shaw, a spokesperson for Clearwater Police. Good Samaritans operating nearby boats immediately sprang into action, assisting with the evacuation of passengers, many of whom were in shock or injured. Because the ferry came to rest on a sandbar following the crash, some passengers were able to wade through shallow water and walk to safety. However, firefighters had to enter the water to assist others who were unable to get to shore on their own due to injuries or the chaotic conditions. Meanwhile, other festival goers witnessed the intense response, with Kristen Vincelli capturing footage showing emergency vehicles racing toward the waterfront. The recreational boat responsible for the collision did not remain at the scene. However, according to Florida Fish and Wildlife Captain Matthew Dalla Rosa, there is evidence indicating that the vessel lingered for a period after the collision before ultimately departing and being found later at the Bel Air boat ramp. Officials have not yet confirmed whether the incident will be formally classified as a hit and run. Authorities from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission are now leading the investigation into the crash. So far, few specifics have been released about the recreational boat or its occupants, leaving many questions unanswered. As investigators work to piece together the full circumstances surrounding the tragedy, the Clearwater community remains in mourning, grappling with the shocking loss and the injuries suffered by so many during what was supposed to be a joyful celebration at the Sugar Sand Festival.